Well, hello everyone. Thought I'd get my dose in. Did you get that? Yeah. Anyways, was just enjoyed there under the helmet. This is our new backdrop for now. Oh, and yeah, I was wondering where that went. Okay, so we want to enjoy the upcoming Christmas season together. So, anyways, thank you for joining us tonight. I have a special guest tonight that you will very much enjoy, but I'll keep it as a surprise to you. So it'll come up in a minute. And what I'd like to say is we got a winner, and the winner is, drum roll, please. It's a little dark in here. And Lacumbi, congratulations on the Palm Ultimate. Now, if you're joining us the first time tonight, we have a Palm Ultimate that once a month we give away to someone that their ballot is chosen. So we do a random draw. So every time you join us, you get a ballot put in. So if you join us 4 times during the month, you'll get 4 ballots put in. And the only thing we ask is that if you want to have a ballot in, you need to be in the meeting for most of the event. So with that all being said, this is the Palm Ultimate. It's a beautiful device, and without it being plugged in, it does not turn on. Oh, well. So there's 2 wavelengths, the 660 and 810 nanometer wavelength, and it's a $1,300 device. So Anne has been the winner of this for the past month, and now we'll go into our video.
15 years back, I realized that light could make a huge difference on the body. I ended up designing this very powerful light using LED technology. With this amount of very high power density, it can reach through the tissues and travel right to the joints. But the key is that the power density and the area is extremely important to deliver that light into that. The mitochondria receives that light and converts that energy into the cell. So it's like giving the cell super high octane fuel, and they run like a jet, and they're able to do all the things for repair in that. What are the products we have? Well, we have a small device, which is actually large when it comes to light therapy. You have a fairly large area of light and a high power density that can be used for different parts of the body, like your fingers, shoulder, back, neck, knees, ankle, anywhere on the body. And then we have what's called the mini canopy, which is about 1 foot square in size. And then we have our full-size canopy, which is basically 6 of the mini canopies. And then we have another device, which is the helmet, and that device can help for mental issues, for brain injuries, for concussions, for PTSD, TBI, all of those kinds of things. And there's new research out there that shows it could be helpful for not only strokes, but dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's, and just different brain issues. Our plans are to move this technology into every area of the world where there's pain and inflammation, which is basically everywhere, and to expand that so people understand all the applications where this technology can be used to help them in their health in the body as a wellness device. People are looking for how they can treat themselves without drugs.
All right, so tonight's guest is Sarah Rom, and a very nice young lady that had an unfortunate incident of a concussion. She had a door that at an event that she was at, where the door got with some young kids, ended up swinging really, really hard one way and hitting her in the back of the head. And so she had severe concussion symptoms. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this one. It was recorded earlier this week. Well, hello there, Sarah.
Hello.
How you doing?
Very good. How are
That's
you?
good. That's good. Very good. Thanks. So, Sarah, what's happened in your life a while ago? So tell me about that.
So about a year and a half ago, I was a school leader for YWAM Youth with a Mission in Muskoka, so kind of close to home in Bracebridge.
Oh, that's a great place, isn't it?
So just an hour or 3 hours away from where I am currently, now close to Welland. So,
Right, right.
so school leader, that can be a bit stressful, but we were getting packed and ready to go on outreach. And then a week before leaving for outreach, I got hit in the back of the head with a door and kind of had a crash.
A door. What, like how? Like,
I'm standing with my back to the door, so that wasn't the wisest move on my part. And someone came running through, and it just got me right in the back.
okay.
So from there, I took some days to rest, and we were kind of debating, do I go, do I not go, do I try, do I not try?
Oh, sorry, go where from that point?
Mexico with the team.
Okay, so this was with the YWAM team?
So
Yeah.
we began to go for a month or just over a month.
Sarah, just to recap here, so you you were training in Muskoka at Youth for with a Mission, and the idea was to go down to Mexico to be involved in a school, to work with kids or teens. What would be the group that you'd be working with?
So we went to Pachuca, and they have a YWAM base there as well, so Youth with the Mission. And we were there to bless the base, so we did some painting around the base there,
Okay.
to rehab centers and like talk to the men that were there, getting their lives back together. We went to home churches and like house visits. We helped at a church too with their roof, and yeah, just serving wherever we could.
You went down to Mexico. You took the flight, even though you just got whacked in the head, and you took 3 days off, right? And you thought things would be better, right? You probably felt a little bit better, right? After taking a little bit of time, or not really.
Not really. I got there. I was in bed a few days. Then they're like, maybe we should take you to the hospital. I got some medication and I was sleeping for some more days and it just wasn't getting better. So, like, I tried to do little things here and there with the team, but I would just end up so tired and exhausted at the end. And then I started seeing double, where anything close up, I would see two of it.
Ooh,
And
this was in Mexico then. That you had taken the flight. So how long after the bunk in the head did you take the flight?
so a week after the bunk on the head, I took the flight, and then about a week there in Mexico or two, I started seeing double, and I've never had that before. So I was like getting concerned now, like what's going on, what's happening.
So I've always wanted to clone myself. You'd see me as two of me.
Oh, when I first met you, yes, I did.
Okay, so this was pretty rough, and you sought some medical help down there, and they couldn't seem to. That's where they gave you the medication, or did you get the medication while you were still in Canada?
In Mexico, I did an MRI too, just to like check and make sure my brain's doing okay. They said it all looked good and fine. But
But you weren't fine.
no, I wasn't improving. We had no clue what was going on. It just reached a point where my dad flew down to get me because there was no way I could fly by myself. And originally the team's flight had a layover, and I'm like, I don't have the strength for a layover. And so my dad got me, and we flew to Toronto. And praise the Lord, we landed there. I could use a wheelchair and get through the airport because that would have been way too much walking. And yeah, I made it home, and my mom was all excited. about your red light. She had heard about it on the radio.
WDCX, yep.
Yes, praise the Lord for WDCX. And she'd even talked to Josh Bauer. She'd called him to get some more information because he shared his testimony of having a concussion and how that had helped him so much. And she's like, there's got to be hope for you. So then, yeah, pretty much the next day we went and we visited you. And so thankful you let us use the helmet just to give it a try. My mom even got to try it. And so we came back a few days, and then I just did the rental first with the handheld
Okay.
one because that made sense. Then we didn't have to keep driving back and forth, and then I could use it as much as I needed to. So I'd wake up and I'd use it in the morning, eat some lunch and stuff, use it in the afternoon, and then use it in the evening before bed again. And pretty much at that point, that was all the energy I had. So at least it gave me hope that I was doing something. Where it's
Right.
like, I'm in the healing process. This is my action that shows I'm healing.
Yeah, yeah. So you did that on a regular every day, and you kept that up. And what was it? About 2 months in, you started noticing a change, or when did you start noticing a change?
So I did the red light. I saw an osteopath. I went to the eye doctor as well and was doing appointments there too.
Were you still seeing double for a little while yet at that point? Oh, you were. Okay. And then you used the palm light, this device here, and you used it and you put it just for people to see what it looks like. You had one of these devices and you turned it on the light like this, and you were treating different spots around your brain, right? Something like that is
Yep.
what you're doing. You use the red wavelength, the red color, and then also the near infrared, which doesn't look very impressive. And you were doing the different spots around your brain as well with the near infrared. About how long were you doing it per session?
Per session,
Half an hour?
an hour.
An
Somewhere.
hour? Okay, you wanted to get better.
To do. I'm just desperate. I want my life back. Let's just keep
Okay.
going. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
so
then,
good. It's relaxing. It's nice.
yeah, it
And
is.
enough, I'd read a book too while I do it. So now at night, in the evenings, I'll read my Bible or a devotional book, and
Okay.
like just keep going.
So what when because you were seeing double for a while, you couldn't read the Bible, like, or could you? Or how would you read it? Or do an audio track?
At first little bit, couldn't really, so it'd be just a few words. Then it did come to a point where I'm like, I can close and zoom in on my words.
Okay.
Some, if I look at them as a group, it'll shift over and they'll be double. If I zoom in just in each letter, kind of, I could see it. And then I also started painting. Where I'm like, this makes no sense, God. I feel like you're asking me to paint, but I'm seeing double. So, but when I took the paintbrush and I put it on the canvas, I could see the tip of the paintbrush.
So is that a picture of yours behind you?
This one is my friend. He liked
Okay.
this, but then I did that one.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
So that was the old YWAM base before we moved.
Okay. All right.
um,
So excellent, excellent. So you were able to do some painting and just keep working. And that's probably helpful too on the cognitive area to try and keep pushing the brain to try and, work everything again
yeah.
properly. When did you stop seeing double? How long did that take?
So there was the Refire Worship School coming in 2 months that I really wanted to do. And so like I had my last eye appointments just before it, and by that time there was this tube I was looking through and I could finally see the light. Where it was a tube with one light down there and I'd just stare at it. That was the eye training it was doing. But originally when I looked, I would always see two lights beside each other, and sometimes they would even cross each other so that I saw like a dark circle in the center.
Oh,
Where
wow.
when I could finally actually see the light, I'm like, what? This is what I've been looking at, and I just haven't been seeing it. And so, like, part of the exhaustion was just my eyes sending mixed signals to each other the whole time, where your brain's getting two different pictures sent to it and not understanding what you're seeing. And so my whole world became like a tunnel where I couldn't really experience the things around me because I'm just trying to see just in front of me.
Right, right, right. And so you kept treating, and when did you see that, let's say, the eye thing was finally behind you, and you were starting to really see things good?
Um, I don't exactly remember. I know I
Okay.
started the Refire Worship School. Where did I write that down? Started August 22nd, and even then I was going, still seeing double.
Okay, this is August of this year then.
August 22, 2024, so last year. So 2 months after starting the light.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so are you still doing treatments now, or are you yeah, okay. And where are you at now in your progress?
Um, so one of the big things I remember first coming home is like I couldn't see my friends or visit with people, like that would have just been too exhausting. So at this point, to be like, I have friends again now. You
Yeah, that's good.
don't think it's that big of a deal, but like when you can't see and it's like everything's too much till like I can enjoy people and we can have fun again.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it's a whole nother world. Um, so the process at first I would help with junior and senior high once a week, where it was like that one evening, just like an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours out visiting, seeing people.
And you
That was
can make it through that.
I
It
could make
was
it through that, but I'd be tired after.
right, right,
But it
right.
was a stepping stone, and it was a process. And yeah, so
Yeah.
it changes your social life too.
Yeah. And now, how's things today?
Today, I can't believe it. I've been like the preschool Sunday teacher with like these 3 to 5 year olds. So like just on Sunday we had 15 little ones, and it's like, okay, if I think back of a year and a half ago, like this would not be happening. So it's like that's a miracle in itself.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And your eyesight, how's it doing? Is it fully back to normal or just a little bit yet, or what's it like?
It's much better. Just when I'm tired, so in the evenings or very beginning of the morning, sometimes it'll still go little double. It was always like close up. Far away was good. It was okay. But like arm's length away where my thumb would be, it would shift
Okay.
over.
All right. Well, Sarah, this is fantastic. This is going to bring hope to people who think that'll never end. Isn't it tough? I'm sure you had times where you thought, is this ever going to get better? I mean, I got to believe that that was the case. Am I correct?
And if I think back to the first time I had a concussion, and it was like 8 months of like nonstop pain, where the moment you wake up and you just feel that headache that's there, and it's just like eating away at you, and it stays till you finally like drift off to sleep. This time it was like, God, I can't do this again. Like, you gotta help me. Like, there's no way I can go through this again. And I say it helps so much with pain,
Yeah.
where it wasn't like I was in constant pain, where I could keep going and do things. Yes, I would get tired and I need to re energize. Like when I did the school in the afternoon, I take my time to use the light again.
Yeah.
Where it's, I need a recharge, but I'm still going. I'm still functioning. I'm doing way more than I would think I would be able to.
Oh, and and you're praising God all the way, right? He's he's brought you through this. Even this very, very difficult time. There was, I know, There were people praying for you, as well as when I had a chance to know your situation way back then. There's some prayers that were going up for you. And I'm sure there was a lot of people out there that were praying for you. So I think that's really, really neat. And it's so neat to see you come through this. And even if you have still the odd thing, still, as you mentioned, so much better and so much cool to see this. And so are you planning to stand behind any doors these days, or have you?
One day, and I'm like, what am I doing standing here? Move!
Yeah. Wow. Anyways, no, it's so great to have you on, Sarah. Any last thoughts you had that you want to share?
And then on Thursday, I joined the dance team, and I'm like, wow!
And you didn't step on any toes.
Nope. Also thinking about it, like there was struggle, there was pain. It's like I don't understand what God is doing, what is happening, and yet I could see His divine hand in it. Where it's like, God, you are moving, you are working, you're doing things behind the scenes that I don't see or understand, but it's like, wow. At church the one Sunday, I met someone, and like when I looked at him, I saw his face double back in the beginning, and it's like, I can't do this. I can't talk to you. I'm like exhausted, and now to be like, you're a friend, and like, he's an international student, and he brought all his international students over for my birthday, and then I just made so many friends June 3rd, and it was like, wow, was a big shock. This was a big change. To like, I'm back in community. I'm enjoying it. It doesn't have to be full time all the time. I can take my time to get a break, but then I can also join people and celebrate that again. And then, yeah, just amazing how God moves and He works. And where you are now could be completely different in a year.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for giving people hope. I know they'll see this thing, and definitely people should reach out to God to pray and ask for help, and He will bring it through. And it just the time may take time, but He has a plan that He's working out. So, Sarah, thank you so much for coming on. This has been excellent.
Thank you for reminding me of what God has done. Because going with life again, and it's like you forget how far He's already carried you. But when you
Yeah,
stop to take a moment to look back, and it's like, wow, God, you've been doing miracle after miracle after miracle. Small or big, they all add up
yeah.
and where you are. So
And
you're
he will use these things that are in your life for a reason. And as even now, he's going to use this to help a lot of people. So thank you for coming on.
Thank
All right, all the best.
you. You too.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And it was so neat to talk to Sarah. So last time, yeah, I didn't have this plugged in. So this happens to be the ultimate. And this device has the 660 nanometer and the 810 nanometer wavelength. Now, I don't have the other unit here right now, but this is our ultimate. The professional is the same. It's just a little less powerful. This is with the Super Palm. We have the wavelength 660 and 1050 nanometer. And with that, the 1050 has the potential to penetrate just a bit deeper and cause some other things to happen. So, anyways, that's the three devices, the Palm devices. Now, we don't have a battery on our device because we use so much energy from the wall. Now I realize it's a lot of energy, but in in reality, it's only a penny, maybe a penny and less than a penny an hour to run it. So we have the red wavelength, which you can see going right through my hand here, and the near infrared wavelength, which you can't see with this right now with the camera system. But that's the ultimate, the different palm units. And then right behind me, I have the helmet, which you might have seen a minute of me in the beginning. And the helmet is has the 660 nanometer wavelength, and it's basically 10 of the palm lights strategically placed all around the skull. So you're getting a very high amount of energy going in. In this case, it's 25 optical watts that's going in, or for those that know about joules, it's 25 joules per second that's going into the brain. So, in other words, in 100 seconds, you have 2,500 joules, which is a lot of energy in 100 seconds. And that's the 660 nanometer wavelength. And this is the 810 nanometer wavelength, which doesn't look very impressive. You can't see much out of it, but the 810 can penetrate deeper because it's a longer wavelength. So that's the two wavelengths for the helmet. And then we have the mini canopy, which is about a foot square, about this size here. And it is the equivalent of 15 of these palm lights in area. So imagine 15 of these units, and it's very, very power dense. We have, let's say the mini canopy is around 100 milliwatts per square centimeter. This is even a little bit more, depending on the model. We have basically 12 of these palm devices spread in power coming out of the mini canopy. So really, it's like you just line up 12 of these things, or 15 times with the area, and you treat a whole back area at the same time. So that's the palm device, the helmet, and then we have the mini canopy, and then we have the large canopy, which is 3 feet long by 2 feet wide, and it's basically 6 of the mini canopies. So that gives you some tremendous area coverage, more for clinics. So anyways, these palm devices are run from $975 to $1,900. The helmet we have is this one here is $6,500, comes complete with stand and everything, and that's $6,500 for the 660 810 nanometer, and the 660 1050 nanometer helmet is $7,900. So 65, yes, 7,900. Sorry, 8,000. My correction. I was thinking of the other device. But that's the super helmet, and then with the mini canopy, it's 5,900, and with the super version, which is the 1050, 7,400. So that's the different units that we have. And now what we're going to do is go into some questions. All right, so we do have some questions that have rolled in, and we'll try and answer some of those questions. I hope you like our backdrop. Actually, you know what? I should move that so you can enjoy the tree in the background. But Gordon is asking, I have diabetic neuropathy on my left side. How effective is the ultimate, and what time is needed? So yes, Gordon, we have been able to see people respond well with diabetic neuropathy. If you want to go back to one of our other videos, we had one on diabetes, and you'll find it very interesting. But as far as timing, it's a case of trying to figure out where the best placement is to turn around the neuropathy. So it depends on, everybody's different. So somebody may have to treat the base of their spine. Others, as was in that one video, they treated their feet. And it's very possible to help with that. So, and Anne says she's very thankful to be able to win the device. Congratulations, Anne. Okay, Betty is saying, woohoo, so excited. I picked up my helmet today. Fantastic. All right. Okay, Deborah's asking, I bought the Palm device yesterday. Is the stand next to you the same as the one on your website? No, the stand that is used for the Palm device is actually one that we find that works very, very well. It's from Amazon, and what we did is a person needs to make sure they get there's a little stand adapter that just snaps onto this device, and then there's a long gooseneck that goes to a pole, and you can slide it up and down, and you can bend the gooseneck every which way with the palm light on it, so you can have it just there, holding it wherever you want it to be used. So that's possible with the stand adapter, and you don't have to hold that. Quite nice for areas on your back. Good question, Deborah. Do you need sunglasses or eye protection when it is used near your face? Actually, as long as you close your eyelids, you're doing very well. If you find it's just a little bit bright, you can always wear some darker sunglasses. It's fine to reduce the light level. But I've got people that are treating their sinuses with the light, and when we're talking timing, you could be looking at a couple minutes of the red and 4 or 5 minutes of the near infrared on sinuses to get the depth on either side, and really help with the sinuses. And when back to the neuropathy, I just remember, you could be looking at maybe a 15-minute treatment with 5 minutes of the red and 10 minutes of the near infrared. You can do longer if you'd like to, but and you'd really have to find where's the sweet spot that can really help reduce that neuropathy. Okay, so anyways, but close to the eyes, it's not a problem. If a person wants to improve their eye health, we've had some people see neat things happen with different problems like wet macular degeneration, dry macular degeneration, glaucoma, just by having the eyelids closed, and they do 1 minute of the red and 1 minute of the near infrared with the eyelids closed. And we've had some testimonies of people that have been helped. Now, just for clarity, I'm not a medical doctor. I can't diagnose, I can't prescribe, and you should check with your doctor if they know about red light therapy. You could ask them, but 90%, 95% of the time, they probably don't know anything about red light therapy. So you can use glasses if you like, but we do have some glasses that you can find on. We got a link on our website that you can order. Okay. Looks like we're caught up in questions. And I know it's early today. If you want to still throw us a question or two. Okay. Kyle, I had one. Okay, go for it, Kyle. Oh, Kyle, I must have missed it. Excuse me. Oh, there we go. Okay, I missed it. My apologies. Okay, I'm just going to go up a little. It's just the way it dropped into my feed here. I missed a few questions. Okay. Okay, Deborah also asked about plantar fasciitis in my foot. How many minutes would I hold it near your foot? So you could put it on the floor and then put your foot on top of it. And something like that is a couple minutes of red and probably 4 or 5 minutes of the near infrared will give you a decent treatment. You can do it longer if you like. There's no issues that way. But you want to at least get that kind of timing to get some effect, like some good effect happening. So it kind of goes like this. You keep getting, with time, you get more and more effect to a certain point, and then it starts leveling off. Unlike lasers, where it would go up and then come back down because you got too much intensity in an area, you're okay to keep treating longer, and it just kind of levels off. So if you do it for 2 hours, it's not going to make any difference than probably the first 20 minutes. So it depends on the area you're trying to treat, where you're trying to treat. And well, in some cases, let's say a knee, you might spend a half an hour around the whole knee. Okay, Carol is asking, just 1 second here. What is the best way to clean the helmet between users? You can get some of those alcohol wipes on a little cloth and just wipe the helmet. That's wipe the inside. Generally, the lenses you don't have to. You don't have to wipe down, but you can wipe them down. Not a problem. Alcohol is very safe on plastics, so that should be able to help you there. Okay, Kyle, I got your question now. I see a lot of helmets using the 1070 wavelength. Do you feel with your light tech at the lower wavelengths can produce the same results given the higher intensity and solid light versus scattered little LEDs? Yes. There's no problem in using the regular helmet and getting some really good results with the 660 810. And we do know that from other stuff that's been going on that we've heard about, the comparison between the two that others have done, that they see extremely good fast results with the regular helmet. But we have been able to see, if somebody's interested, they can always, if money's not an issue so much and it's not as tight, the super helmet with the 1050 nanometer seems to make things happen a little faster. But we're going to look forward to some trials. We got right now some funding that looks like it's going to come in the next few months. And if that happens, there's going to be a half a dozen trials by a couple of universities and some clinics out there that will be able to measure some of these results, and we'll be able to see some comparisons. So yeah, the 660 810 nanometer wavelength helmet, the regular helmet, will be pretty good for most I think most, if not all, application. You just might get a little edge with the super helmet. Okay, Carol's asking, does the POM help with artificial bone graft material for a dental implant? As I understand it, the bone graft material is something that allows the bone, the cells to grow faster over the area and get fill in the area faster. Definitely, this encourages bone growth and regrowth. So when people have injuries, cracked ribs, those kind of fractures, they can really speed up the healing of their bones in their body. Do you have an adapter for pets? We actually do. We have a device. We don't have it listed on our website, but it is a device that snaps in here, kind of like if you look up the oral probe, you see on our website, you can see where it snaps in. And in this case, it helps with a very furry animal because the probes allow you to kind of roll it in, like wiggle it in a little bit and get closer to the skin, so you don't have a big pile of fur in between the light and the surface of the pet. So thank you, Beth, for your question there. So Patricia was asking, you mentioned about with the eye with glaucoma. So glaucoma is a pressure in the eye, and just the POM is helpful in putting energy into the mitochondria, and the mitochondria is in every cell in your body. It's like the power plant of the cell. And so what happens is anytime you're able to use the red light and near infrared light, you're actually filling up the gas tank of the cell, or the mitochondria, the power plant in the cell. When the cell is fully energized, it can do all the things it needs to do, including is what's called electron chain transport. It helps in the end to oxygenate the cell, do all kinds of really neat things. But all of that takes energy. And if it doesn't have enough energy through some kind of disease, that does not help the cell to heal or help the area to heal. So even with the eyes, it's possible with the light to use the 1 minute of the red wavelength. And I'm just going to plug this in here right now for kind of like a little demonstration. So it'll be the 1 minute of the red wavelength, followed by 1 minute of the near infrared. And we've had some people tell us that they've been able to be helped with their different situations. Here's the oral probe that it's kind of, so the PET version is where we have like 8 of these probes. Kind of hard to see in the back. There we go. Okay. I just got to coordinate myself here. So this here just snaps into the palm light, and I'll just do this right now. There we go. So you just put the probe into the wavelength that you're trying to treat with. So if you want the 660 nanometer wavelength, what you can see, it's kind of hard to see because of the light there. Okay, it won't show it. Maybe I can show it this way. Nope. Okay. Anyways, there's a lot of light coming out of this probe, but it's just the way that I'm getting. Maybe I can do it this way. Nope. I can light up the tree. You can see the light moving around there. So there's a lot of light coming out of the beam out of the tip of this. You can kind of see that bulge of light there. So that's the 660, and then when it comes to the 810, person just slides it into the other hole there, and then you turn it on to the 810 nanometer, and now the 810 nanometer will come out, and I think I can make it happen, maybe. No, I guess, oh, there you see it. You see the little bit of light coming out of the tip there, right there. So that's the 810 nanometer. Hard to see the 810 nanometer, but that's a probe that can be used to go inside the mouth and treat areas of the mouth a little easier, to concentrate the area on where you're trying to treat. Maurice is asking, how would you treat the brain with a mini canopy? How would you treat the eyes with the mini canopy? So the eyes, you could just put the mini canopy in front of you, and you can do a relatively short treatment. So you could just have the mini canopy in front of you like this, with it facing you, and do like the 1 minute red and 1 minute near infrared. By the way, it also, some women are concerned about wrinkles. It can help with the wrinkles. You've probably seen devices on Amazon and things for wrinkle reduction. Well, anyways, you can do the same thing with the mini canopy, only it just takes like 1 minute of the red, 1 minute of the near infrared. You can treat your eyes at the same time with that kind of wavelength. You can always treat a little longer if you like, but it helps with the collagen in the skin. Margaret is asking, where is Tom reading the questions from? From my laptop. I have it on my, so that's where the questions are coming from. It's a little more difficult than I usually have on my screen. So my screen in the other facility, I can see them easier. But okay. Kyle is asking, I was looking at the palm units for patients and hoping these units could do the job if my patients can't afford the helmet. Thanks for getting to my question. Okay, yes, I mean the palms can work great, or the mini canopy, whatever a person wants to use. Deborah, you're saying in the future, please show how the wand works in the mouth, hoping to use it for receding gums. Yes, you can use it for inside the mouth for receding gums and put the light right on the area. And maybe I can do it this way. I don't know if it's going to show or not. I hope so. Okay, there you might be able to see my finger light up. So I have the probe behind my finger right now, so you can see how the light is going right through my finger wherever I move it along. So that's what the probe is able to do. I'm not so sure I want to demonstrate, open my mouth to show everybody my mouth, but anyways, it's fairly easy to use. So you can point, you can turn the light around to point wherever you want to inside the mouth. Okay, Kate is asking, just been diagnosed with the beginning of dementia. Kate, I'm sorry to hear that you're going through this, and have had many head injuries throughout my life. Also found out that I'm starting to get macular degeneration in the eyes. I just bought the Palm Ultimate. Also have lax ligaments in every joint. How do you do best work with the LED? Okay, so basically on joints, depending on the thickness of the joints, let's say it's in the fingers, you don't need a lot of treatment, like 1 minute, 1 minute. If you're trying to treat, let's say something a little thicker like this, through your wrist area, now you're going to have to increase the time to, 3, 4, 5 minutes of the red, and maybe 10 minutes of the near infrared in that area. You're trying to treat a hip, hip. These are my knees down here. If you're trying to treat your knee, you're looking at maybe a half an hour of time around the whole knee with 10 minutes of red, and let's say 20 minutes of the near infrared. Like I said before, there's no problem treating longer. So that's how you can use it there. And Kate, the one thing is that, the helmet has been able to help. There's people with different cognitive issues, and we're hoping to get some studies out there that'll show that this can be helpful. People like to have proof, and I understand. There are studies out there that show that photobiomodulation can be very helpful for different cognitive issues like dementia. Okay, so yeah, with the special orders, if you just need to call our 1-888 number, and you can not only if there's certain questions that you have, but also with special orders, let's say the PET device, that's the easiest way to do it. Yeah, Patricia, our lights have both wavelengths, the 660 and 810. We do not include the 650 or the 850. Those are other wavelengths out there. It's not a problem. As far as when you talk 660 or 650 and 660, sorry, I said 610. When you're talking 650 or 660, very little difference in the wavelength. So, but when you jump to something like 810, that's a major jump. And then our devices have the 810 nanometer as opposed to some devices that have 850. We just decided we like the 810 for certain reasons, and that's why we use the 810 nanometer. Margaret is asking, can I just use the near infrared light instead of the red light? Yeah, you can. You can switch it just to the near infrared. Sometimes if you're really pressed for time and you're trying to get a treatment in, you might lean heavily to just using the near infrared. The red is very, very beneficial, even though it may not reach deep into the joint. It's causing it's highly absorbed by the blood. So in that case, you get a much higher blood flow through the area. You get vasodilation. And so even if you're not reaching the joint per se, let's say a deeper injury or something, you're causing a huge amount of blood flow through the area. And that's always beneficial. And obviously, if you're treating the blood is carrying much further than the treatment area as well. How long do you use the probe in your mouth? If you want to focus in on different areas, 30 seconds, because it's such it really helps take the light from one of the LEDs and bring it out the tip. It's a very high amount of light that actually comes out of the tip. So in the mouth, you could do 30 seconds of the red, 30 seconds of the near infrared, and it'll work very, very well. I know dentists who have used that, and because the amount of energy delivered is sufficient, even in 30 seconds with that device. And good question is, why don't you have both wavelengths on at the same time? The reason being is we have so much energy from this device that if we were to turn both wavelengths on at the same time, it'd be far too much heat on the skin. Plus, we want to be able to make it so that people can adjust it according to their needs. So some people, you can treat equal amounts of time on 1 minute red, 1 minute near infrared for your hand. But when you're trying to treat something like a hip, you're going to want to spend a lot more time on the near infrared because of the penetration. In that case, that's what you can do with our device. You can choose how much time for each wavelength, as opposed to having some kind of mix that's predetermined. Say it's 50-50. 50% of the LEDs are red, 50% of the LEDs are near infrared. Also, the other thing will be it's going to be half the power for each wavelength, where what we do is 100% of each power. That's 100% output that we can do for each wavelength. Deanna saying thank you so much for this presentation. Much appreciated. So glad you could join us. And Jean is asking, must the palm light always be on the skin, or will it work through light clothes? Yes. Oh, yes. It will work through light clothes. You can tell fairly quickly if you got a lot of absorption and not much is getting through. So if I put it on my laser here and I used it, I just started putting it on for a few moments, and you touch the fabric, and you feel it super hot. Guess what? All the energy is getting absorbed by the tissue. But if I put it directly on here through my shirt, I feel the energy going right into my shoulder. And if I pull it away, I notice, oh, the shirt is not very warm. So that's how you can tell if you can use the palm through material. We're going to wrap it up shortly here. How to use the ultimate for brain issues. It's possible to just put it on, basically like the helmet, put it on 1 minute of the red and 3 minutes of the near infrared on the area. Now, if you don't know where you've got to treat, then you would do 1 minute, 3 minutes here, 1 minute, 3 minutes here, 1 minute, 3 minutes there. So you could spend maybe 40 minutes on the brain if you wanted to with that. Okay, another question from Margaret. What do you think of red light therapy masks? Hey, they're there. They'll help you if you've got some skin issues. There are different ones out there. I'm sure some of them aren't worth the postage stamp to send it to you. Some of them are actually worse, actually have some decent amount of light energy from them. But as far as you put a mask on, it's not going to help you treat your sinuses. It's going to treat your skin. that's really what the light therapy mask can do. Wow, Kyle, some good questions. Do you have protocols that are driven from the EEG? We are actually getting that. That kind of information is going to be presented in a few months. That our protocols have been based on outcome, where we've been able to see outcome with our devices, and when it comes to the brain, we've been able to see really, really good results with that protocol. One thing we have seen is when it comes to migraines with the helmet, we've seen at shows that I've been at where we've done 1 minute of red and 3 minutes of near infrared, that the migraine has significantly been reduced in that 4 minute time period. And then we decided to give it give another round of 1 minute and 3 minutes for another total of 4 minutes. And pretty much in, I think all of the cases, we've seen a significant reduction in the migraine symptoms in the 8 minute time period. Headaches as well. Seems like we need that extra time. So could it be longer? Yes, I've got some Kyle, I've got some biohackers that are treating very long periods of time. They do like a total of 20 minutes or 25 minutes with the helmet. And they're still getting very, very good results. And it doesn't seem like they have, nobody's mentioned anything about a negative effect. If there is anything, it would be that some people are very sensitive to the light from the standpoint that if they treat at night, it gives them a lot of extra energy, so they can't go to sleep. They're wide awake because they've got all this energy. So in that case, if you're that type of person, you may have to stop your last treatment before supper time, so that you get a chance to come down from all that extra energy. I was at a particular event where it required a very, very high amount of brain power over a few days, and lots of preparation, long hours, and I was so exhausted. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I gotta get that energy back. So, and I just thought, hey, I just wanted to sleep. That's all I wanted to do. And I thought, hey, why don't I put the helmet on myself? And I did for about 10 minutes. And I had so much energy that I could, after a really good lasagna dinner, I was able to spend another 2 hours on the computer. So really did help me. Well, anyways, I think we've caught up to our questions here. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic Christmas season. And do find out what the real reason of Christmas is all about. What is it? And you can always shoot us a line if you want to learn more. But I believe there's a very good reason for Christmas, and it has to do with Christ's birth. So anyways, all the best to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Have a great week, and hope to see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.